Just thinking, though, man, in this wise, how do you resurrect a community? Because the journey to community life, as best as I come to understand it, by a master teacher, is a journey to human excellence. There is some religious teaching, as one of the master teacher was sharing, and as was written of him, of through religious texts, of taking birds, and the bird has the ability and its creation endowed with the potential and ability to rise above the common animalistic level of material existence and to soar in the skies. We know that the symbol of America is the eagle, even though Benjamin Franklin didn't want that because of the carnivorous nature of the eagle. It's associated with the bow or the soul, or in ancient Kemet, So you get into the names of Haru, Hero, Hour, 1,000 years, it says, is but a day in the sight of God. That's the quickening of the spirit, which means no time is wasted, because time cannot be chronicalized. But yes, so the soul and the skies, of a heavenly plane, attaining great vision. That was another teacher that came and said that vision stems from the source of one's thinking. A bird has the ability to fly high above the material world from its lofty position and can see far and wide what's happening on the earth. We know that the earth has an absorber, but it has an appetite as well in those things that which you plant on the earth in season, it will come about. But there is some rain that will fall from the sky and produce a crop. And someone was said, another master teacher said that the Algarian religion, God is our God, Algarian. It says Algarian in thought, and that deals with agriculture, and as a result, we see the word culture. So we see what's happening. But it soars in the air. It's the airwaves, the air. The air that we inhale and exhale. Breath of life, associated with the Ra, the breath of life. The air that we breathe, but the airwaves now is a communication system. The manner in which communicate. So you must get the language right. So the human being has the potential to rise above the gravity, the gravitational pull of materialism, and to function on a higher plane And people who get high off greed, corruption, chaos, confusion, or any intoxic, they get high, they rise above, but they must, after the high, they come down, and we see what's happening here. Come down, from the high, and the fix comes into play. The fix comes into play. So you can elaborate on that if you choose, investigate that even more. But what it needs to make the flight, wind, air, and that represents the human aspect, or the represents the emotional aspect, as they say, of another master teacher taught, of the human being, nature. It is the purified emotion and inspiration that allows the human being, to rise up in the heavens of a higher level of thinking, or levels of consciousness, or some would say, of understanding, like the bird itself, lifts itself up on the current of the wind, one's human emotion. Yes. We can look at another example of a child. A child wants to lift itself up. You see how the child posture changes when he sits in the chair, and then he crawls. Then he lifts himself up and stands on his own conviction, by standing on his own feet. But this human emotion, the wind, and but the emotion, the spin on it as it revolves, it can continue to revolve and evolves. Around and around at such speed that, but there is something that must measure up or equals that spinning, and some scientists or astronomers will come up with an answer. I'm unable to come up with one in that particular field of study. But is the shaping and the molding, and that which must give balance and measure up to the human emotion. We need clay, and the clay it gives shape to one's human emotion. It gives form to one's human emotion, and the breath of life gives form to this body, life to this body. So the clay represents the logic. The logic. The clay, the logic, is equal to the human emotion. So the key to it all is balance. Balance. The yin and the yang, the upper and the lower, the left and the right, the front and the back. But it is the balance. So it is we have to resurrect a community. We must have balance. We must give form to the human emotion, the emotion and the logic. They must have balance. They must merge together. But we must trust the Rab. We must trust the Lord, the natural ability of the evolving process unto their completion. Because where there is balance, understanding speaks clearly. And the key to social life is family. And those who participate in that activity will find joy. Those who do not will find joy in misery. So it is a balance that we need with the emotion and the logic, one with another. Yes. Understanding in this this wise, in this way. Until next time, talk to you.